We're going to start the process off by putting one of the clips in the piston ahead of time. It's going to make things just a hair easier. Because these are G clips, it's so much easier than the other ones. So it's going to go in this way, so we'll put in this one first. You just twist till it clicks and then you'll see it's in there. So you got to make sure the piston goes on the right way. It only goes one way. I'm going to put that wrist pin in there. There's no room to work around everything here. And because of the precision machining on wrist pins, they have to go exactly straight. If they're even off by a little bit, they won't go through. Push that into place. Now that the piston's installed, we have to install the other G-clip. It's not going to be easy. Almost. There's just no room in here. I just had a client who had a wrist pin issue on his motorized bike, and it essentially destroyed his whole bike. Uh-oh. Try a longer set of pliers and see if that helps the situation here. Sure does. There we go. The piston is good to go. I've got it lined up to where it needs to be. It's just a bit of a trick to get it actually around the gear now. Especially because there's no access on this bike. There's very little room to do any of this. We are lined up. Here we go. That's one of the most tricky and stressful parts of doing a 4-stroke, and it looks like we got her. Now we gotta fit the rockers back on here. Make sure all that lines up. These dowels are a real pain. Seems to fit better that way. I don't know until it actually gets into the right spot there. Perfect. Perfect. Now we put a washer on each one of these. Followed by the nuts. These need to be torqued down to 14 pounds. Need a torque wrench for that. Even gonna fit in here with this thing. We're going to try to get a little bit creative here. We're not there yet. He's got to be tightened a little more. And now finally we have to put the valve cover back on. The hose clamp go here. Yeah, it's on the side. While we're at it, I've got this out. Gotta do up these guys. We'll need another extension. So I would never recommend doing an engine in the bike, but that's how they recommend to do it from what I understand. So it does make sense because you get a CVT here, which I'm sure is probably full of oil. Okay, now we can go back to focusing on the valve cover. So number 10. And now before we go any further, we have to install the automatic tensioner. Now we grab the freshly cleaned carburetor and fit it back in here. Here we go. We got a nice solid seal. Air box is on, it's looking pretty good. Now, of course, you'll need to re-plug in your fuel line. You're going to want to move your exhaust or your overflow out of the way. And you can't forget to plug this guy back in. And now that we've got all that done, all we have to do is connect the throttle cable. Also incredibly difficult with no clearance. That seems to be the theme with these scooters. Time to install the exhaust. So we're going to put these clamps around it. I'm just going to have to get the exhaust nuts on there. I can't really show you. And finally, we have to install or reinstall the EGR. Which is so pointless. I really don't understand why this is necessary. Now finally, we have to install the spark plug before we can do a test. And now, if you've done an oil removal like I did, we're going to put some more oil in before we start the bike up. But we're getting really close to a test here, so let's get some of that oil in there and let's see what happens. Some trusty 1040 will do the job. I'm pretty sure we'll need more than that still, but let's just see where we're at. We're about halfway there. Looks about right. So because the tank coating is not dry for another few days, I've just rigged up an old tank I've got lying around here with a fresh fuel filter. That's going to prevent any of the crap coming through. There shouldn't be any crap in there, but we're going to put a new fuel filter on before we put the new tank, the repaired tank, on as well. But we're going to put some gas in here, give it a shot, and see what happens. And a couple of splashes here. So, it looks like it should be enough, at least to give her a shot. Make no mistake, it's going to take some kicking for sure to get the oil to kind of get to all the parts. But it's starting to loosen up now. So I've done a bunch of kicking and it's been pointless. All my battery packs are dead. This trickle charger ain't helping. So I hooked it up to my truck and it sounds like it's about to go, but I didn't let it go, so let's see what happens. Certainly there's some problems to sort out, but I think we got it.
Interesting. Something here's bent properly. It's causing some of this issue we're having here. Anyway, for now, it's running.